This episode of the Drywall Podcast is dedicated to the memory of Junior, who's good friends with Big Dawg. Hello, and welcome to a real-life episode of the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. With us once again, Stefan Genkens from Okanagan, BC, Canada. Stefan is the owner of Big Dawg, that's spelled D-A-W-G, Drywall, and goes by Big Dawg most of the time. Recently, Big Dawg has had a string of life difficulty that has disabled him from working for around a month and a half. And I was curious what happened and what steps he took to overcoming this adversity.
I don't know. I'm just going off what I see, right? So, yeah. I mean, I'm not in there clowning around either, man. I'm reading the Bible every single night, and if I'm not, when I'm sitting there, even when I'm smoking a joint, I'm on YouTube listening to preachers. Serious, man. Like everything. Yeah. Every night. Yeah. I'm going to the men's group, to the faith group to learn about it. Like, okay. I'm not fooling around with it either. Like I'm not just doing, it's. Yeah. I'm 100 with it.
We talk about his friend Junior's passing and how alcoholism played a role in both their lives and his relationship to recovery today. We also talk about his circumstances and how those circumstances led to maybe a newfound relationship in God. Big Dawg is one of my favorite characters on social media by far, and in Drywall, and I know you're going to love this episode 116. Hard to believe. Hold on to your seats because I'm excited for this coming November. Huge shout out to CSR for sponsoring the Drywall Podcast in the month of November. Maybe you've been living under a rock, or you just aren't aware of what CSR is. Well, here's a quick overview. CSR is the premier retailer of drywall products and supplies throughout Canada and beyond. They have 2 locations in Ontario, in Vaughan, and one in Barrie, Ontario, with their most recent being their Barrie location, which is focused on bringing you the most up-to-date and innovative tools on the market. Not to mention, their website has just about everything that you could ever dream of pertaining to drywall equipment and cutting-edge tools, while also being super easy to navigate. I know because I bought stuff there, and they pride themselves in their reliable and expedient delivery. Lastly, stay tuned for more information about the CSR Black Friday event happening November 22nd, where you'll meet some of these badasses in person. Oh, and that one guy that owns Fresco Harmony, I forget his name, might be there in person. Come play in the mud, and I'll be giving away free stuff too. One thing is for sure, this event is going to be a ton of fun, and I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you in person or seeing you again if we've already met. Without further ado, Stefan Genkens, aka Big Dawg, D-A-W-G, on the 116th, did I say that already? 116th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it. We have Big Dawg, aka Stephen Genkens. Stefan
Genkens.
Is that like, some people say Steven, some people say Stefan.
Everybody says Steven.
It's spelled the same, right? But yes. You like Stefan.
Well, my name is Stefan. That's what I was told.
All right.
I'm just going off what I was told, man. My mom said my name's Stefan, so.
Mom says her name's Stefan. It's fucking Stefan, dude. What do we want to talk about? You know what? Stefan or Stefan? I like Stefan. I like Stefan too. Yeah. You were on the move last time we talked too. I like that about you, Stefan.
I was on the move.
I think so. I
No,
can't remember. You know what? Your last interview was August 8th. It's been over a
last
year.
year.
It's been over a year, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot's happened in a year. We're checking in. One thing's for sure.
Oh, it followed me. Look at
It follows and zooms.
that.
That's
Okay.
crazy. That's crazy. Mine
That
doesn't
is
do
cool.
that. Mine doesn't do that. What is it? A new iPad or something?
Yeah,
WTF?
brand new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's like
Dude, that is cool. Get up and just get
a
up.
camera crew, man.
I'm gonna say this about Stefan too. When you were on, you were like, you need to put your full video up on YouTube, and Stefan is the reason that
Started it all, man.
over the course of the last year, I paid heed to your suggestion, and throw every video up
Boom.
on
Better?
YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah. So and a lot of people watch the video, not a ton, but a lot of people do watch the video. So if you're
Yeah.
inclined and you want to see what this beautiful man looks like, this gorgeous beard,
Yes, sir.
you can go on YouTube and you can watch this whole interview. And you can see the beauty of the new iPad. I guess has a feature where, or maybe it's Zoom. I don't know. Maybe it's a Zoom. I think it's
I don't know what it is.
I think it's an
Cool.
iPad. I'll bet you it's a setting too. It's very cool. It keeps Stefan centered in the middle of his screen. It's a very cool feature. If you are inclined. The other thing is, I got a Big Dawg shirt here with the Columbia logo.
That's what you're wearing?
Yeah, dude.
You're so far away, man. Seriously. I got you like 5 feet away. This is pretty cool.
They can get up in there.
Future, man.
See, if you go close, it zooms out. See, it zooms out.
What? Technology, man.
But enough dilly dally. The reason that I wanted Stefan back on, and we're just going to call you Big Dawg from here on out, or Dog, or BD, or
The Big Dawg.
what else? Dog, and that's DAWG.
Yes, sir.
And probably one of the cooler logos. I feel like I don't want to put anybody else down, but Big Dawg has a smoking logo and
Thank you, sir.
very, very cool stickers.
Thank you.
And the reason that I wanted to get you back on the show is because we both had a little bit of tough luck lately.
Oh.
And I want to talk about the tough luck. Look at the camera. The camera senses that I'm saying tough luck, and so it like slow pans in. It's like, Big Dawg. Do you want to talk? Let's get intimate. Like, let's talk about it.
That's pretty cool.
Let's talk about the last year when you and I first had a conversation. You were sort of launching onto the scene. A little bit, like in my world anyways, and you wanted to blow this thing up, and I think you have to a certain degree. You've learned how to run the bazooka.
There's a lot of hiccups in my everything.
Everything, yeah. So drywall isn't linear, man. This life is not. There's ups and there's downs, and
but you just got to be persistent and just never give up.
Yeah. And also we both lost a friend, a close friend, and somebody that we worked with too. We share that as well. Yeah. So we're going to get into all that. So let's talk about and we're kind of, I don't want to say we're limited on time. I've got to get to a job. You probably got to get to a job. Let's talk about what are we working on right now? You said you got a big one, and you live far away from where you're working currently.
Yeah, about an hour drive, just over an hour.
That's one way. One way.
Yeah, exactly. Just over an hour to drive there.
Okay.
Yeah, just some townhouses, man. Just getting back into it. Didn't want to do nothing too crazy, right? Just anything I could, really.
Yeah.
Needed to get back into it. It was a whole bunch of unfortunate circumstances. Wasn't even I got hurt when I was working on a big custom house. Fell on my stilts, so that wasn't good.
You had some faulty stilts. Blame
It
it on
was
the stilts.
everything, right? So like overworking yourself and just drained. My head wasn't in the game. It's like it was 8:30 when I got hurt, and that like 8:30 in the evening, and that
Okay.
whole week it was like 1 a.m. nights. After working like 16-hour days, just heads not in the game. That was the day of Junior's funeral, so I actually thought I did do my due diligence. I cleaned everything up off the floor and I put it in a mud box. And it was
Okay.
actually this sole mud box in the middle of the floor that I tripped over somehow. I walked past it, maneuvered around it, and when I came back another pass over the flat, that's when I tripped over it, and I had the box in my hand, and yeah, went down hard. And it was on the concrete floor too, so there was no giving.
Let's
Yeah,
talk, and if you don't mind too, I was thinking that we could dedicate this episode to Junior.
yeah.
I don't know how close you guys were.
I knew him my whole life, man. We grew up across the street from each other.
Let's talk about it. And he worked
Uh,
with you. He worked with you a little bit. Was he into drywall?
well, because I was, whatever I
Okay.
was doing, so I was just had him working with me. My goal was just to get him sober. He had a problem with addictions.
Okay.
He had a lot of things, happen to him when he was growing up, foster homes and whatever, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And he was in trouble in juvenile and then correctional and prison as he got older. But then this was like the longest he's been. When he first got out, he came right to move with me. He's like, I'm sober now. Started working with me. He worked for 3 months and got his own place. And then things kind of went, got stressful for him, and he ended up slowly getting back into drinking.
Okay.
And that was it. That's his devil, right? Once
Sure.
he's drinking. Yeah. So I eventually it became, well, I can't have you working for me. So
Okay.
then it was just off and on after that. Anytime he'd sober up and he'd come back to work. And so then at this last run, he was trying to clean up. So that's the worst part about it. He was on.
Do you Are you sober right now?
Absolutely, yeah, man.
Okay. So how long have you been sober?
Well, California sober, I should say.
Right. You smoke the weed, right?
Yes, sir.
But how long have you been sober from alcohol?
Uh, I don't know. Like I've had a few beers,
A
but
few beers. But
yeah,
for the most part, but you don't go to meetings or anything like that.
I do, yeah,
You do. Okay.
yeah.
Do you have like a sponsor and shit? And we don't I can cut this out
No,
too. We don't have to talk about this shit if you don't want.
no, that's okay. No, I don't
Okay.
have a problem with it right now or anything. I just started going to meetings a little while ago. I haven't been going for a bit because I actually started going to church, and it's on Sunday also, the meeting that I was going to. But I
Okay.
was just going just because since being sober, and then you start getting anxiety and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
right?
bitch.
Because
It,
before you just drank about it
yeah.
or whatever, right? And so I just wanted to see how other people dealt with it because
Yeah.
my woman, she never had a problem with drugs or alcohol or anything like that.
That's good.
So I just needed to go somewhere where I could listen to people's stories. I just went to listen.
Well, and also
That's
too,
all it was.
you could sort of hook up with people that aren't doing it. Kind of like Junior had you as like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
kind of a guiding light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somewhat.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I
yeah.
did
So
find someone like that, but that's the reason I started going is when a guy I was working with, older fella, and he's been going for 20 years, and he's been clean for 20 years,
yeah,
and we became close. So I just started going just because of him. And, So that everyone's, basically like that new Jelly Roll song. You heard that song, Winning Streak? That's what he talks about. And he's like, he says basically the same thing, I never thought that I'd be sitting in this seat until a guy that's been 20 years clean told me everybody here has been thing, nobody walks through these doors on a winning streak,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just when you're having, everyone comes there for support, and it's true. It's how it was. Just from listening, I'd walk out the door and feel better.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
Just the camaraderie was nice.
Or
Yeah,
weed. I was a big weed guy too.
yeah. Well,
Gave it all up.
in my prime, my big problem was coke. Right, I don't have a problem
Right,
with it at
right.
all. But yeah, that was the
Well,
big
and
problem.
I do NA, not AA.
Me
So
too.
I
I go to
started
NA.
I started in
NA.
AA and then I switched over to NA. Younger crowd, like, and it's
I've
like
never been to
every
AA. I only go to
okay,
NA.
okay.
Yeah,
And
for like
so
oh.
back to Junior. So Junior was hanging out with you. You were sober, and maybe
His whole life, he's always come to me when he was wanting to
yeah,
straighten out, always. So I
yeah,
always try. And now I'm actually, just saw a clean cut guy, so I was best influence for him.
yeah,
And he knew that, but he battled, like I said, his own demons, things that happened to him when he was younger
yeah,
and stuff. It was too hard for him to be
yeah.
sober. Is how like basically how it was. And I've never seen nothing like that. Like alcohol was a drug for him.
Oh yeah, oh
Like
yeah,
if he was to sober up, he had to go to the hospital and sit there, monitor detox.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
otherwise,
a lot of people don't know you can die from detoxing from
yeah,
alcohol.
I think,
Alcohol's a motherfucker. Like it's bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
that played a part in what happened too. Like
Okay.
because the same thing, right? If he did get those tremors and stuff, and go into like seizures kind of thing. So
Okay.
yeah,
And I've been watching your social media. Thanks for sharing about that too.
yeah, oh, it's great.
Our heart goes out to Junior and
Yeah, man.
those who know
He was,
Junior.
he was amazing. The biggest heart of anyone I've ever met. He's always, keeping his shirt off his back no matter what.
Right.
Do anything
Right.
for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Um,
good.
And
Good as that.
you've been going through, I feel like it's kind of funny. You like to do the stories or you jump on social media and be like, hey everybody. Like and you go into your thing and like, you're always like highlighting the dude that's working with you and they're like, fuck off, Big Dawg. Like, I don't care. That's my
Yeah,
favorite. That's my absolute favorite. But
it's
you've
hilarious.
been through like kind of a slew of people. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you
Which,
think is a
which,
common thread of like having challenges, finding good help, and then people that want to stay? Is it like they
or
don't
it's
want to
been
keep
people that's
up
been
with
needing
you?
help. Always
Right.
like a similar situation too. It's funny, and I track that. I don't know how. But that, yeah, I don't know. It's been difficult, man.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
I don't think you're the only one. What do you think it
Well,
is?
no, no, I know. I don't know, man. It's an, it's you gotta have that drive, I guess.
You got to have drive.
Like for me specifically, I don't know. I think as soon as with taping and drywall, it's a tough one. Not a lot of guys. As soon as they have their own, as soon as they know how to do it at all, they don't want to work for anybody. They want to be their own business. No matter if they're
Yeah.
the worst or if they're just a junkie and they suck. But no matter what, they know how to do it, so they think they are their own business and they don't want to work for anybody. And for the most part, that's
Okay.
what like they just want their own jobs. And I'm trying to build a crew. Like my
Yeah.
buddy here, he's got him and three journeymans, man. Like they're like, boom, bang out. I just watched him bang out.
Fuck yeah. Just one extra guy.
Even another
Huge.
journeyman, absolutely. But I mean,
Yeah.
four journeymans, they banged out 10,000 square
Yeah.
feet, but before noon almost, fucking taped and coated and everything.
Yeah.
Serious.
Easy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big deal. I mean, even like so, like Jack, we were talking. Like Jack will come on the job, even if he comes on. Like he's been like he does like he plays the stock market like during the week, and he's got his own thing going on. I think he doesn't have any kids. He's like single, like he's
Yeah.
got a paid for mobile home. Like dude, he's like Living like a king, playing the stock market. Like, but he comes in on Saturday and Sunday, and it's amazing how helpful that is. And if we're both on the job together, we'll bang out so much. It's crazy. Just one
Yeah.
extra
Oh,
guy.
absolutely. Well,
You know.
for me, I don't know if we talked about this before, but my big thing is, even just having someone there, and you see it, right? If I have someone there, I'm completely different. I'm getting energy off of trying to motivate them. It motivates me, and I'm, if that makes sense, leading somebody
Yeah.
is what motivates me. Or like, not even if I'm having to lead them, or just motivating somebody. Let's go, let's get the game. It's a lot harder to motivate just myself.
Yeah.
You know?
You and I haven't met yet, which is a bummer.
No,
I wish you
no.
were going to Black Friday. Been off too since the whole thing with Cam and all that. That's been challenging. In my world, I just it's kicked my ass. You knew who
Absolutely.
he was.
Absolutely, man. He was amazing.
The dude was a rock star.
Yeah.
And so we're still reeling from that, like the whole community. But
Absolutely, man. Rest in peace to him, man.
yeah, for sure. Okay, what else happened this last year that has been challenging? Junior was maybe a little more recent, but you hurt yourself two
No,
times.
that was like all at the same time. So, uh, Junior died, and then his funeral was, a couple provinces away, and I was already, kind of struggling as it was, and because he just died, and I'm going through it, and I wasn't able to make it to the funeral. I'm working out of town. That's what it was. Bad time and working out of town. Didn't have nothing until I was done this job.
Yeah.
Right. It was gonna be good, and then
Yeah.
it was the day of his funeral, and that's the day I got hurt. Right. So it was all at the exact same time.
Wait, was that the stilts or was that a different
No, and I fell on the stilts.
that fell on the stilts? So what happened? What would you do different? You were saying that you were really tired, which
That's what I've done different, man. I'm no like crazy
No.
hour. To be home with family,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
I that was it, man. It just like work was an addiction,
Anything over like 8 hours. Like,
Yeah.
people like to go on, they like to brag. I'm working 7 days a week, I do 10, 12-hour days. I feel like almost after 8 hours, like if you put in a solid, you go 4 hours, take a nice lunch, just go sit down, check social media, maybe eat, drink lots of water during the day. Like taking care of our bodies too, I think is huge. But like there's a certain point in time I feel like where I start becoming unproductive. And then if you hurt yourself, like fuck, man, you can't do shit,
Oh,
This is Drusilla's iPad. Who's Drusilla?
that's my fiance.
Okay. Whoa. Stop. Hold the phone, buddy. Literally and figuratively. I love that. Just follows you. It loves you.
I love that.
Fiance, when
Yes, sir.
did you ask Drusilla to marry you?
A few years ago now.
Okay.
Oh,
What's going on?
yeah.
When's the date, dude?
We don't have a date.
Dude, you got to nail down that date.
I gotta make some money. So that's where we're at, right? I got hurt.
Okay.
Got hurt. She was at home. Like I was doing the work, and she was raising the baby. The baby's just turned a year old.
Okay.
Right. And so that really put us in a financial turmoil, right?
Yeah.
So then losing all hope, really.
Okay.
So I
What does that mean? What does that mean, losing all hope?
I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like I'm becoming too depressed, right? Very depressed.
Yeah.
Sitting there, especially already, just because I couldn't work, right? And then everything's falling apart, and I can't do nothing about it, right?
Yep.
So I ended up going to church. Well, I actually met a guy that used to be a pastor from my uncle. My uncle came to visit, and he's Christian.
Okay.
And he took me over to his friend's house, and then we started talking, and yeah, I became Christian. I started reading the Bible, going to church with my family, and they're all into it. So
Yeah. What's your experience? What's your experience with church?
the um the people are amazing,
Okay.
great, amazing people.
Yeah.
So they've been all really helpful through everything, right? They
So
even
you
paid our first month's rent in our move. They like, we want you to move in, without stress. So
okay.
they're amazing people.
Right. They came up big for you.
Absolutely.
Why do you
Yes.
think that is?
Just because the thing about being a Christian is just to be for others. And I think that's really cool. And then
That is
just that
cool.
alone, and just seeing everybody else. So the reason that all of them have so much faith is because most of them, like, or all of them, anyone I've talked to around my age or older, came there when they're in some kind of turmoil in their life, hardship, came there, and a whole bunch of good coincidences start happening, and then that's when, how can they not believe?
Yeah. Do they have recovery based things attached to the church that you can do?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Some churches do. Like you might want to look into like Christian like
Yeah.
recovery based things. I don't know. It's interesting to me though the idea community like like
Yeah,
I'll get that
they're
from
amazing.
like
Yeah.
from going to a meeting,
Yeah, no, that's what I did too.
when I'm feeling
That's why I
depressed.
enjoy, like I said, the camaraderie. That's why I enjoy the meetings.
Right.
And like,
It's
I don't have a problem with using anything, drugs or alcohol at all.
right.
This is maybe the devil's lettuce a little too much, but I've
Yeah.
cut that back quite a bit as well since I went back to work.
Yeah, Irie.
That was, like I said, I'm going back with a routine, right? So,
Devil's lettuce.
right? No, but it's not.
Oh man.
It's just even like the way they put it. As long as you're not using anything, you. It even says in the Bible, you can have a drink, but don't be drunk. That's what it is, you know. You
Okay,
know.
so you had people help you from church,
Yeah.
sort of move.
Not
Did
from
you?
my church, actually. Like the Christian that my uncle had introduced me to, that used to be a pastor, and then he kind of like is mentoring me through this. And then I've
Okay,
just been going and finding my churches on our own, me and my family.
okay. What in
But
this mentoring process? What is involved in the mentor? What have you learned from this fellow aside from like be kind to others?
that's it, man. That's all he's devoted to in his life. And he doesn't even work. I mean, I don't know, he's like 60 years old now, maybe, around there. That was the other guy, like was 60 also, that led me to NA. Well, didn't lead me. I went on my own choice, but he
Yeah.
was going, and through conversation with him and his mentorship. But so this guy, yeah, definitely learned a lot. But his life is very fruitful. Whatever he needs and what he prays for, like literally, and he's like, you got to be specific.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but it's because his life is so devoted to everything. Like his goal, as soon as he met me, was to help figure out my situation. Like that's it.
It's so
It's
cool.
crazy. So he's like
Yeah.
calling everybody, everyone who can help, who can help. Da, 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 da. It was amazing, the people that he bring in. I've been met some people that have made friends out of, and yeah, it's quite the community. And once people know you're Christian, oh wow, and people that I didn't even know would be Christian, it's a good community of people, and all the good people that I already knew were good people. Those are the ones that are Christian too. It's
How
interesting.
would you say you specifically though have changed and become better? Would you say it's just like the outlook, the
So what I
prayer?
was looking for was peace and faith,
Yeah.
faith in life, because what I see, so like this is exact reason. What I see is anyone that I've seen to be Christian, they are very mindful. They do not worry, no stress, because they know that whatever happens or whatever happened, God has it under control.
Okay.
That's it. And if if it's happened, it's because that's what's gonna happen for God. That's what He wants. This is what He wants for my life, and that's all there is. They need to know, and there's no worries.
Okay.
They're mindful, and
Yeah.
because if they're worried, they go home and pray about it, and then if they keep that faith, and it's the people that are strong of faith, and it's like they're mindful, but they're fruitful. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they get what they pray for, they ask for. It's true. You see them. Oh, most people in the church are well off that are very faithful. I don't know. I'm just going off what I see, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not in there clowning around either, man. I'm reading the Bible every single night, and if I'm not, when I'm sitting there, even when I'm smoking a joint, I'm on YouTube listening to preachers. Serious, man. Like everything,
Yeah.
every night.
Yeah.
I'm going to the men's group, to the faith group to learn about it. Like,
Okay.
I'm not fooling around with it either. Like I'm not just doing, it's
Yeah.
I'm 100 with it.
That's really great.
No, it has been. I would have never be. It's just you can't go wrong. You can't the positivity, and it's not about me. It's about my family, and that's what it's all about. That's what the NA was. I just need to be the better father, the better man.
Yeah,
Everything. So
it's not all about being on the
this
job
is
site.
none of this. None of it's for me. I'd go out there and be wild if it was. It's
Yeah.
be better. For my family to be better. They enjoy it. Yeah, it definitely brings us closer together because when I read the Bible, I read it to my fiance. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And
yeah.
so when you read the Bible, what are you like reading? I mean, you're just starting at this Genesis, you're hitting up Genesis and you're just going through it.
No, no, not yet. No, I was actually told by my I call him pastor, but he was like my mentor. I think
Yeah.
Rick is his name. Uh,
Okay.
he told me to start in John because
John.
John is about becoming to be Christian. It's about what it means to be Christian, and it's a lot of important points in there. And just being a good person, more so. So then I read John, and then I went back to the beginning of the New Testament, read Matthew, Mark, and I skipped Luke. I'm gonna go back to Luke. So I'm like, oh, because it's almost monotonous, but I'm not gonna not read it. I'm like, I want to hear a different story because
Okay.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is just the exact same thing. Just like maybe he's seen something different, or maybe one day Mark wasn't there and John seen it, so John has it in. So that's what it is
Okay.
for the most part. But John had a lot of good values in his, for more so. I'm not full understanding of it quite yet. So what I do understand is these people's faith and what's working.
Yeah.
So I believe in from vicariously, if you could say, just from seeing people and hearing their testimonies and
Okay. And
very
you moved recently, yeah?
yeah, last weekend.
Last weekend. You
So I'm
moved from
sitting in the sunroom still. There's just a pile of stuff there. I just popped up on one of the couches.
Yeah, I
You can
like
see.
it. It's a
Yeah.
good it's good. You moved from Kelowna?
I wasn't in Kelowna. I was in Peachland.
And where are you now?
I was in Kelowna at one point. I was all over. So I'm still in the Okanagan. I'm like all over the Okanagan, but now I'm, in the south. So it's not now. I'm not basing my company in Kelowna. It's more Penticton.
And
It's the other big city in the Okanagan.
how do you
Penticton.
how do you spell that?
Penticton. So
Penticton.
that's the
Okay.
South Okanagan.
And is that BC?
Yes, but the Okanagan is big. It's a huge lake. So it's
Okay.
the Okanagan. It's the Okanagan Lake. It's one of the most beautiful places in Canada.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
It is. Yeah, it's like all vineyards and everything like that. Huge lake.
How far are you from Vancouver, BC?
4 hours.
West. Okay. How's the weather up there?
Yeah, I'm only like half hour from the border. Not even.
Oh wow, okay. Like
I'm almost in. I'm
Montana?
Washington.
Washington still. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okanagan.
Not even.
Interesting. I'll have to check it
Yeah.
out. That's pretty
Yeah. It's
cool.
all connected. With forget, with the desert and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so
Osoyoos is the border town, right?
where?
Osoyoos.
Never been there. I'm from Washington too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the border town here.
Yeah. Spokane. How far are you from Spokane?
I don't know, not too far.
Not too far. Yeah.
No, let me look.
Because Spokane's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, you're close to Danny Moody. You should call that son of a
Why?
bitch.
Where's he?
He's in Spokane.
4 hours.
He's in Spokane, dude. You got a big job. Call Danny. Be like, come up and help me out, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, I should. Hell yeah.
You should. He's a kick. I think you guys would get along really well. And that guy will bust some work, dude. You pay him well, he'll come up there
Yeah,
and
I
just
see.
crush it
Fast,
out.
yeah.
He's fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun too. A lot of fun to work around.
Yeah, it seems like it. Absolutely.
Very cool. So you hurt yourself. What did you do exactly when you fell on the stilts? It was wrists, right?
Yeah. Like, so I threw the box.
Boom.
Instincts to put my hands
Yeah.
in front of me, right, and catch myself.
Yeah. I feel like you
But
kind of want to turn. If you ever fall on stilts, you want to sort of turn and take it
it
on.
was really fast, as I was moving
Right.
the momentum as I was
Yeah.
going working, right? So I was already like leaning forward, right?
Yeah. Just boom.
Leaning forward and then whoa. Yeah.
Okay.
So then whoa, quick.
Yeah.
Hands in front of me. I was just mad. At the time, I didn't even know anything was broken or stretched tendons or whatever you call it. I
Yeah.
didn't even know. I just dragged myself over to the scaffold and pulled myself back onto the stilts. I got
Okay.
back onto my feet and kept working.
Really? But then your wrist probably started burning.
So when I ran out of mud, I kept going till I ran out of mud, and then I had to stop. I got off my stilts and I started mixing mud. I'm like, and then I got back on my stilts, and then they really started hurting. I like tried to do it. I couldn't put any pressure on my wrist.
So what
I
exactly?
was like, no, I'm loading, man. I can't do it.
Right.
I went back to the hotel because I was staying in a hotel.
Okay.
And
Sucks.
yeah, so I tried to tough it out, but I ended up having to go to the hotel or the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was a small town. There wasn't even a doctor.
Yeah.
I couldn't
And
even get
luckily,
X-rays.
luckily you're in Canada, so everybody has fucking health insurance. Me,
Yeah.
I would be screwed. I'd have to pay $50,000 if I hurt myself. Heaven forbid,
No,
because I live in the United States where you got to
that's
pay
great.
$2,000 a month for health insurance, and it's like I can't afford that.
Come on.
It's at least
It's
$1,000.
$2,000?
At least $1,000. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't pay
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah.
No, $1,000 a month.
Yeah. And forget about it now. Forget about getting health insurance now.
Come on.
Yeah. Forget about it. That shit's
What?
gone.
For everybody, $1,000 a month. You need that.
No, but you can go work for somebody. Sure. Go work for someone and they'll cover your insurance. Sure. But if you want to work for yourself, yeah, you got to cover it. Yeah. So you're lucky.
So
In
you're
that
work-
regard, Canadians are lucky. They have health insurance provided for them.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
absolutely.
So yeah,
That's
you were
crazy.
that wasn't an issue for you. You just went to the hospital.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't
Yeah. Yeah. Me, I would have to fucking consider that shit.
but
I mean, they'll do it, but I have to pay $40,000 for the rest of my life to the hospital.
yeah, so that's where the issue lied. So I didn't have WCB because at the time, like I'm working for myself, I was told that if I'm subcontracting one person, just me, that I'm covered by their WCB, and it's
What's
usually
that?
no workers' compensation board.
Okay.
So the workers' comp, right?
Okay.
So you need to pay for that for yourself, like on top of any kind of insurance if you're working on your own. But I thought,
Right.
right, and if you're subcontracting, but
Okay.
usually, like if the other person has you on their workers' comp or whatever, right?
Right.
So I was just doing this one. It was the first job for them, so there was no paperwork or of us together or anything like that. So when I got hurt, they called him. They're like, no, we said that he was doing his own coverage. We had that understanding, right? And
Okay.
we never once had that conversation, but that's what he told them. So that
Sure.
because if somebody gets hurt, then you got to pay the premium,
Yeah.
right? Then it goes up, just like your car insurance or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't want that. So he didn't want to he didn't want to cover me. So he told him no.
All right.
So then I didn't have no coverage because I was working on his job.
Right.
And I wasn't paying for mine because I didn't have, like, when I had Mikey and stuff like that, then I had the coverage because if Mikey got hurt in my job, then I was screwed. Then I get sued, right?
Yeah.
So I had the coverage then. But then with myself, I thought I fell under their coverage, and most of them did. I fell on my stilts before, but I never got hurt.
Okay.
Seriously hurt. I was out back at work the next day. It was just sprained or whatever, right?
Okay, something to consider too, like that coverage, that and I'm considering it too. Whatever,
man, I never do. Most subcontracting guys don't. They don't pay for a single thing, man.
Right.
Nothing. They want every cent, and then most of them would just drink it away. Or whatever.
I do have insurance. I have liability insurance, and I believe that covers some workers' comp in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but most people don't pay for that here. Most of the guys, so you really screwed. I learned that big time.
They don't hear as well, dude.
So that's where it lies. So then I didn't get any pay, nothing, man. So I couldn't pay. Like, I was the sole provider for my family, right? So we couldn't get anything. I couldn't get any coverage, so I had to stop going to my physio.
Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah. It's stressful.
So it was, yeah.
And what did you do exactly?
So that's when I called my uncle because
no. What happened?
Yeah.
Was it a fracture? Was it a stress?
I don't even think I answered that question.
That's okay.
That's where we led. Yeah. So this one, it's like it was fractured, but it was like on my left one, it was chipped on there where it connects. I don't know the name of the bones.
Sure.
My right one, I thought it was the one that was broken. I didn't even know my left. My right was the one that was numb, tingling. I couldn't move it at all. Ended up not being broken. They thought it was broken. They didn't even worry about my left one at the time.
Okay, you lucked out there.
It was just in some sort of shock. So
yeah,
it was like muscles in there. Like both of them, I can't bend. Still, like there's no movement in both my wrists. Like that's as much they can go back. I can bend it forward, but not back.
Okay.
Like I couldn't do a push-up on the wall, as you can see.
All right.
So I can't bend them. Then either way, even if they're not broken, they're like in some sort of shock right now.
Yeah.
They're basically like in shock because they went so far back and now they don't want to go back anymore.
You can rehabilitate those muscles though if you get on it.
Yeah, and running the box and things like that.
That helps.
Just the more bending of them, eventually they'll start going back. But it's taking a while, man. Like I said, that was few months ago. So September 6th when it happened. It's already November, right? So no improvement whatsoever. Slight improvement in my shoulder because it was like not torn shoulder, but darn near. As far as my understanding. So it's like muscles that come all the way through my bicep, all the way through my forearm to my wrist, everything here. Like my right sore. I can't do much with it. Like overhead stuff, sanding sucks. But
so you had a couple jobs though going at the time when you hurt yourself. How did you handle that?
So like just the one I got hurt on. I was just doing that one. It was a big out of town job, right? Huge. Lots of big custom house.
Okay.
It would have been a good pay. I'm not gonna get any details or anything like that. But then I got hurt and I was just in the middle of loading it. So I'm like, I don't know, I'll try to find somebody. I couldn't find nobody to go because it's out of town job. It's a little bit farther than that now. So it's like a couple hours away. Nobody wanted to do it. So I'm like, you know what? I forfeited, you guys do it, pay me for what I've done, and we'll call it good. And they already like give me a couple grand so I could pay for a hotel and gas to get there.
Yeah.
Food for that was it, right? And come the end of it, they're like, oh, well, we had to pay another guy premium to come and do it. Basically what you would have gotten paid to do it in the first place. So we don't really have nothing left to give you. You know, here's $900. So
Yeah.
definitely really, really got screwed. I was like, what about what I had done? You know, it's like, well, you know, why does
Yeah.
my
If you were boxing, it was taped out, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I was loading it. I was basically almost done loading it. Uh,
So you're probably
oh yeah.
a third, 25%, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So it was unfortunate, another unfortunate circumstance, right? So that's
Yeah.
what I did. Nothing about it. I couldn't do anything about it. So I
So
stayed.
then, so then, you, it was before that, then you were finding this, like religious sort of salvation prior to, or what, that came
No,
after
that was after I was hurt and we were struggling.
you were struggling? Okay.
Yeah, we were struggling. Junior died, right? Lots
Yeah.
going on. I was getting depressed, very
Yeah.
depressed.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm injured. I can't do anything, right? So I called my uncle who went through the kind of same thing. He's the one who he moved away from home and started going to church and became sober and working for himself and stuff. He's a welder, but anyway, but
Okay.
he's like just works for himself kind of thing.
Yeah.
So same kind of grounds, right? And so I called him, hey, and he got hurt one time. And I called him, I'm like, hey, what did you do? Kind of thing. He's like, oh, I'm actually on the way there. Oh, he's like, I just didn't let you know. So he ended up coming for a couple days. And when he was there, he's like, well, I just, found God, and whatever, Jesus to help me out. And that was it.
He reached out to you or you reached out to
No,
him?
I called him and he was actually already on the way here because he was stopping through on the way from one job
Right.
to another job. It was just super coincidence.
So if you're listening, we all get there, Big Dog. We all get there. I get there.
Yeah.
Where it's like you feel like, man, this sucks. Like I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
thing right there is very key when you reach out to another person, and there's a lot of power there when you can reach out to somebody. So that's just my opinion.
Absolutely.
And it's really hard when I'm in that place of like, this is horrible, life sucks, to actually pick up the phone and be like, I'm gonna call my buddy Jeremy. He's always got my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Like we don't want to do that. We want to be like, oh, I can handle it all myself. I don't need
I thought I
anybody.
always could. And I was always the one that people come to for whatever, right?
Right.
So I don't really have much to go to. So that's why it's always nice when I have like those couple older fellas to learn from.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
nice when I have someone that can mentor me instead of being the mentor. Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like to learn from people who went through the same experiences and stuff. Exactly. Like that's what I'm learning. What did you go? What did you do? How did you go through it? So
Right. Right.
and the people told me they got through it with God and are
Yeah.
just praying for it. And it came, and it worked and they believed and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what worked. So,
Yeah.
he introduced me to that guy and that was it.
Okay. And then, so you found, like, fast forward a little bit, you found maybe slowly you started to come back to work, or maybe you set some stuff up for a little bit out when your wrist would be better, or did you find somebody to help you out?
No,
Like
I
work
was
wise.
I was just sitting still, man.
Okay.
Nothing. I had nothing going on for like a month and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't have no guys working for me at the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wasn't 100% there. I didn't ever have a journeyman. Always guys that I trained,
Yeah. I know.
right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I just went stagnant. So as soon as I needed to come back. So, like I said, the people I met, like Pastor Rick there, he helped me out, and him and his friends. So then I got back to work and just got hustling through the pain, with braces on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
still hurting, have more. more if it's hurting because the rest of my body is still, because just after being off for a month and a half, I'm just sore.
You get out of practice.
Oh man.
Yeah, when we were in Illinois, I ran the box. I hadn't run the box for like 20 years. And Chad, I ran the box for 2 days and I was so sore.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun, but it's hard.
Yeah,
I forgot how hard it.
Yeah, I ran the box yesterday, man. I'm hurting today.
It's fun and it's hard. Did Aaron come and teach you the bazooka after? I think he did that before, but I was also always impressed with how quickly you took to the bazooka and being open.
I love it.
So cool. Yeah, it's such a great tool, isn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's always impressed me about you, your openness, not only with like, I guess your faith and the ability to.
Well, I actually haven't even talked about it yet. I haven't said a word.
Bring it, sucker.
I know. I want to start talking about it. I need to. I haven't told the people yet. I'm still pretty confused, to be honest.
What do you mean?
I wasn't a believer at all. I don't know if you ever listen to my music and stuff. Like, I'm like, no, I don't believe in God. I don't believe in bad luck. Like, anything is your decision. You make it. That's it. Okay. That's what I was before.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I'm still confused, figuring it out. Still in that process.
It doesn't sound like that to me, though, dude. It sounds like you're just on board.
I'm getting faith.
You're reading the fucking Bible, dude. You're like, hey, you have faith in prayer.
I forget to pray, but I do sometimes because I wanted.
You realize it's there and it's a tool and it works.
It's working.
Okay. All right.
Yes, but I don't understand 100% yet.
I mean,
like I understand how it works and how it works for people. Yeah. But I don't understand the ultimate entity. Right.
Yeah. No. There's an old guy. There's an old guy with a beard, a little better than yours. He's up there in heaven. He's standing there. He's like waiting for you to come up. It's a man.
I don't know when they talk about the heaven.
I don't fucking know. I don't know either.
I don't know yet. Sure. See, the thing is, a lot of people, most, if not all, that come into it have this like moment of revelation. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The spiritual moment of revelation.
Yeah.
And even my uncle said the same thing. He even told me a few different ones last night when I spoke to him on the phone. It's kind of coincident. He talked to me last night for an hour yesterday. But same thing, man. He was telling me a few different instances, like just in the church, they wanted, if you want us to come pray, if you want to, they always say it every day. If you want, something to be prayed about, come up to the front kind of thing. He said one day he went up and his knees have been bothering him for a long time. And he asked him to pray for his knees. He said the pastor got down and he was touching his knees and praying for him and stuff.
Okay.
And he said right then and there, his knees got warm as he's turned around and he's walking out to church. And he's never had a problem with his knees since.
Beautiful.
He's like right then and there, and like, I was like, when did you know? But at the moment of revelation, I mean, like his very first one, where he's like going for a couple months and he was like me, not understanding it, not really feeling it, but he just keeps trying.
Yeah.
He sees other people's faith, and that's all it's about. And that's what your calling is.
Yeah.
Is to tell your testimony, because then your testimony works. It's not for you to be listen to God or you're going to hell. It's to like, it worked for me. This is why. Check it out for yourself if you want. Then if you do it any other way, if you say like, if you don't do that, buddy, you're going to hell. That's actually blasphemy. That's actually something I learned last night.
Somebody wants to get clean from alcohol and drugs. You can't tell them, go get fucking clean. Hey, your life's a mess, dude. You need to go get clean.
You don't think
that is a bridge? That's a bridge you go over on your own. You walk that bridge on your own. You walk into a meeting on your own. No, I mean, you can be court ordered, but that still doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? You can go there and learn. You can learn stuff, but that is You have to do that for yourself.
So that's funny. I got like a point on that. So originally, when I moved away, and like, cause my uncle's always been my influence. So he's been influenced like me getting into trouble almost, because when we grew up, he was like hanging out with the bikers, bad life. So then I started hanging out with street gang, whatever, same similar. Then he sobered up and moved away and started working. So I sobered up and moved away. You know, just followed his suit. But when I moved to his house, the stipulation was I had to go to church with them. And at that time, I was rejecting it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. You know, it's the same church. And that I ended up going to now. It's not, you can't make someone do it, man. It has to be that time in their life, you know?
Yeah. Going back to your opinion about, though, like you're unsure or you don't know, I think that's perfect, though. I don't think anybody, honestly, Big Dawg, I don't think anybody really knows. Okay, we're all on this journey. Like, that's it. You're on the journey and you're making decisions that are impacting your fiancé, your child, and you're doing things that you're moving in it's positive.
It's positive. There's the thing is about Christianity, there's no negativity. That's the devil. Anything negative. Anxiety, depression, that doesn't bother you, because if you're feeling that, just pray. It'll go away. And it does, man. I don't know how it works. Yeah. But all I see is it works. And that is all it is. Pastor Buddy keeps telling me, you're going to be a preacher one day. Like, you're going to be a pastor. I know it. You're not ready yet, but you will be, you know. But
dude, you're preaching right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was pointing that out. But that's the thing. That's what it's about. Because you can't tell someone, believe in God. What are you going to tell them to believe it? No, you tell them, believe in my story. That's all you're supposed to do. Believe in my story, buds. Because what happened to me, and things started turning around, boom. Look, I needed to move out of my house because we couldn't afford it. Didn't pay rent. Our landlord there was a blessing, right? We're going to pay him back. But he's like, yo, I got you. Don't worry about it. He's like, you can even stay here if you got it. You know? I was like, man, we can't keep staying here. You know, we got to find a place that's cheaper, $1,000 cheaper. Sure enough, we get a house that's nicer. You know, it's older, but it's nicer, you know? Yeah. Everything we need, but in a little bit better than it was, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, what? You know, how's that? Because if you want to say everyone has these testimony stories here, they're like, you know, the first time I tithed, next day, this happened. First time I tithed, you know, tithing, when you give back, then they will give. You know, you can't just go there and be like, here's some money, buds. You gotta start believing. You gotta start. Well, then if I'm gonna do this. Funny than zooming in right now.
And I love that. It's getting serious.
It's getting intense.
The computer's he's got something to say. But let's bring it in.
That's pretty funny. So I tithe. Next day, boom, got a call for this place. $1,000 cheaper. You know, come see it. Perfect. Right in, you know, beautiful, right in the middle of the mountains, and I'm
coming, fucker.
Yeah, let's go. Come. I mean, you come. Let's go.
Yeah. I know.
yeah. I want to go there, man. I want to go to you.
Yeah. Come down to Albuquerque.
I haven't been in the States, on only Vegas. So now.
Oh, okay.
Where are you? Yeah, you're probably not far either. How far?
Albuquerque, 8 hours from Las Vegas. Yeah.
No, how far are you from Lake Spokane?
22.
Oh, you're far. You're on the other side.
Yeah, I'm 4 hours from Mexico, buddy.
Okay.
I'm down there. Yeah, you'd have to fly. That's okay. That's okay. We come up there all the time. I go up to Washington. My sister lives in Washington. Yeah. My mom lives in Walla Walla, which is really close to you.
Walla Walla.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you know where that is?
No.
It's down south of Spokane, about 2 hours.
Okay.
That's where I was born.
Cool.
Yeah. Big Dawg. Really awesome. I would like a pearl of wisdom, although you've given a bunch. You've gone through these experiences over the last year. Could you just let like shorten all that up, all that good stuff, shorten it up into one phrase that you could put on a billboard? Somebody's depressed. they hurt themselves, they're out of work, they're trying to figure
Ooh,
it out, what would you tell them?
man, that's tough, man. And then, like I said, I'm still figuring out myself, but I
Yeah.
just you gotta have faith. You gotta. But I didn't even know what to have faith. What? That's why I didn't have any faith. You gotta find your faith in you, whatever it may be. I'm not saying you have. I'm not gonna tell anyone what to do, but you find faith. It doesn't have to be religion, you know. That's what the old guy was saying before. You know, it's like I believe that something else is leading our way before, and then that you put the stress out of your hands. You know, whether you believe it's the universe or, you know, your buddy that passed away is holding your hand along the way, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Kind of put it out of your own hands. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of takes a lot of the anxiety away. Yeah, have
No, I
faith.
like that. I like that.
Have
Have
faith in
faith, man.
yourself. Have faith in yourself and
Yeah.
find that however you gotta, because that's what I didn't have. I don't have an option. Like I said, though, I'm doing this for my family, so I had to figure it out. What do I need to do? You know, I'm not going to
Yeah.
turn to drinking because that's only going to make it worse, not only for me, for my family. So I can't,
Right.
do any of that. Drinking, drugs, whatever, and that's not going to help.
Right.
What can I do? Well, this person said that he prayed, he went to church, and it worked out. Well, I'm going to try that because that's, I'm already sober. I don't know. I might as well just do something positive. And hey, it's been working. So I
Yeah.
don't. I
It
think it has.
has. It
It's.
ha it absolutely has.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm proud of
And,
you,
the
dude.
people are great. They, puts you in a better mood. Like I seen something the other day. An hour with somebody can change your whole day, your whole life. Your whole
Yeah.
everything, your whole
Yeah.
environment, your whole.
That's what we just did. We just spent an
That's what I
hour
mean.
with.
I'm gonna have a kick-ass day now. The rest of the day is gonna be awesome. We set the tone, right?
You know what? I've been like, why the fuck do I do these podcasts? It's like, well, that's why. That's why. I seriously, if you like peel everything else away, it's really why I do it, man. You know,
Yeah,
it's cool. It's just cool.
it's awesome.
Why else would we hang out for an hour? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
if it wasn't for this podcast, there's no reason for me to like call Big Dog and talk to him for an hour, you know? Like
Hey,
if
man, you should. What do you mean? There's no reason?
no shit. Exactly.
Holy man,
Exactly.
you should, man.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's a
Thanks for
great
having me
pearl.
on here again. It's an
Yeah, of
honor.
course.
An
It's a
honor,
great pearl of
absolutely.
wisdom. It makes me think of this too shall
Oh,
pass. There's a saying, this too shall pass. And it's not just for like bad stuff, like when you're in a bad space, like this too shall pass. It's also when you're in a good space, like this too shall pass. It's always
oh.
like nothing's either good or bad. We're
So,
just in the process.
yes, and that's exactly what it is. I'm in the process right now, so I really have too much pearls of wisdom. But like my pastor Rick says, he's like, you're not quite there yet, but you're gonna be. And I feel like
Yeah.
I'm soaking it up right now, and like I'm still
Yeah.
confused myself, but I
Yeah.
know that I'm finding that strength a little bit, comes from it. Absolutely. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
just not to worry. It's even one of the biggest ones, even says right
Yeah.
in there. Don't worry. It'll all work out.
Well, I'm definitely
Uh,
interviewing a different person than I interviewed a year ago, for
yeah, you
sure.
think so?
You've
Oh,
grown.
what?
You've grown. And we can't sometimes we can't see it, but you've grown. You're inspiring to me, and I absolutely agree that you could
It's been quite a journey, man.
you could be a pastor. I mean, I totally agree with that. You got that energy, and not even just you don't have to be in a church to be a fucking preacher, dude. You can speak the word wherever you go and in your actions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it gets me, man. It's
Yeah.
I just don't think it's like I don't feel like it's I don't know. It's like me, I don't know, but it's working. So I
Yeah.
don't know how to
That's
explain it right now.
that's
So
a self-love. That's where it's like, yeah, big dog, you are that. You are that. And like sometimes it takes other people to be like, and you were doing it when you were doing your music. You were preaching. Like that's what it is. And like that there were pearls of wisdom that were alive then that you were trying to speak to, and it's all like inside of you, you know, like that all lives inside of you. You are like a leader, and like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Well,
obvious. It's
I like to believe so
obvious.
too. Like I said, I have much better days when I'm leading, you know. I
Yeah.
feed off of motivating others. Like absolutely.
Yeah.
That's when you
Yeah.
see my energy through the roof on the videos, right? If
Love it.
the
Yeah.
more people, the better. Let's go. I'm leading them all.
Yeah.
Lead
Yeah.
the sheep, right?
That's right.
But that's how it's always been. Everyone that comes to me needs a little bit of guidance, you know. And then Mikey still comes to me, you know. He's
Yeah.
one of the ones that helped me move, you know. And Jeremy
Yep.
too, Jay the Drywall, you know. Those
Yeah, but
guys
you
that
can't do that. You can't do that if you don't believe it yourself. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you can't lead if you don't like believe that you are a leader, you
yeah,
know? Like you can't love if you don't feel like you're capable of being loved, you know, like that.
yeah. No, absolutely.
You know, I love it, man. This was a good episode.
Yeah.
Religion, for whatever reason, religion has come up a lot in my sphere lately.
Oh,
I've had a lot of hard energy because of Cam. I've
talk
had
to
a
me
lot.
again in another year. And again,
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry
Yeah.
about the loss, man. He was amazing too.
Just the
Again,
just hard energy, you know, just like
yeah, man.
life, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I wish you could have got to you guys. You would have
Me
loved that
too.
dude.
Oh,
Like he
I
was
wanted
something
to
else.
wanted to meet him and hang out with him. Yeah.
Yeah, but this one's
Totally.
dedicated to Junior. We're giving a
Thanks, man.
big shout out to Junior, your fiance and your baby. And man,
Mhm.
I'm just sending you prayers and nothing but good energy, dude. That
Are you a
you
Christian? Sorry to
uh
cut you off, but
I'm
I
not a
didn't ask
religious.
you.
I'm not a religious person.
You're not religious,
Mm-mm.
but you pray? You
Oh
said you're
yeah,
sending prayers.
absolutely.
You do pray? Like you
Well,
meditate?
here's a revelation for all you non-Christians out there. You can pray and you don't have to
Yeah.
be a Christian.
So it's like to the universe, to like your to yourself almost, like self-talk.
Oh, I can call it God. That's fine too.
Yeah. So you almost believe like that you know there's a higher power.
Well, I would ask yourself, what is belief? You know, what is it?
I don't know that yet. That's
Neither
where
do
I'm at.
I. Neither
That's
do
why.
I. Do I learn though? Am I learning all the time? Absolutely.
That's all it
Do I
is. But
believe in prayer? Yes. Do I believe in higher power? Fuck yeah. I've been going to meetings for 20 years, dude.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
all
I've
I'm
worked
trying to
I've
believe. All I'm trying to
yeah.
learn is how to be a better person for my kids. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Be
That's it.
kind,
There's
do good
nothing
things for
else to
other
it.
people, like you know, live a good life
Yeah,
and you
but that's what I
know,
was saying before. If you're good for others, it good is for you, man. Goes
yes.
around, comes around for real.
Yeah.
Serious. You put that energy out there, you get it back. Like I was saying, my buddy Rick, he's living good. And he gets everything he needs. He said he needs to build a deck. Oh, buddy called him. Hey, I got this wood. I got to take apart this park. It's all brand new. I just built it. You want all this wood? I'll bring it to you. You know, like anything he needs, it just comes to him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it just all
Yeah.
works out in the grace of God. You
I
know,
like the conversation. I love the conversation because it points to positivity. It's good
that's
energy.
all it is. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
find myself.
You don't have to be certified or like I'm gonna label myself or I'm gonna be
No,
it's all energy.
no, I'm somewhat proud to say it just because, you know, you
Yeah.
realize the more people I've said it to is most people have, yeah, me too, bud. Or, you know, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
found common grounds with people. And then
Yes.
I've been able to learn off of their experience. So that's why I kind of mentioned it now
Yeah.
so that I can learn from other people that I'm actually learning are believers themselves or whatever.
Right.
Why do you believe? What happened to you? What's your testimony? And that's the only way to learn about it is just learn other people's
Yeah.
journey. That's the only way. That's what they say to find your calling. That's the only thing it is.
It's
It's
been
to
coming
just
up.
live for others. That's it.
It's
And
been
if you
coming
live for
it's been coming up.
sorry?
It's been coming up a lot. Like, you
Yeah.
know, just the conversation. It's been interesting.
That same conversation. Yeah.
The religion, Christianity, like all that, you know, it
It's
comes up.
interesting, yeah. it's coming back into the world a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Because everyone got so lost, the COVID thing happened, the pandemic, and it really put everyone into depression, and everyone's trying to find a way out of it. And I think, like I said, a lot of people that I was surprised to find out were Christian.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned it. I'm like, oh, what? Me too.
Well, Christian, money, the election, death. These are heavy, heavy things that like we're dealing with now in the United States, and there's a lot of division, and there's a lot of hope, and it's just more than ever people need to come together, whatever that looks like.
That's all it was, Like I said, I moved away, so I needed a congregation and to be part of, I feed off of others, just like, that's all I'm looking for, learn from others. That's all it was, see how other people got out of it. Okay. Oh, how did you guys do it? Okay, that was good. Okay, now I'm gonna move over here. How did you guys get out of it?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm taking all this knowledge. Okay, and what's working best for me? And right now it's the church. So
that's
it's
right.
For my whole family. So that's what it's all about. That's it.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
Big Dawg. We will keep in touch. We don't have to have a podcast to talk, right?
No, but I'm saying I'll have more answers for you. Wait 1 more year, go for a part 3. I'll have all the answers for you. Guaranteed, because I'm on this journey and I'm working hard to figure it out.
Love it. Well, yes, go have a fantastic day. You're welcome. Thank you. And we'll talk soon, buddy.
Okay.
Huge shout out to Big Dawg for being with us on the Drywall Podcast today. Super proud of you, and I look forward to seeing where your journey goes in the near future, and maybe a part 3 coming up very soon. If you are on Instagram or Facebook, maybe you've noticed some amazing deals happening from some of your favorite social media finishers, like, but not limited to, Allison and Kayla Gilbert with Gilbert Taping, Sean Ramsden with Brawley's Dad Construction, Phil with PRC Taping, Lydia of Drywall Shorty, Ahmed, T-Mac, Daniel Moody, and a host of others. Head over to their Instagram pages and follow these guys and find out how to get huge savings during the month of November just by liking their pages. They have deals and giveaways running right now, so don't wait. Also, they're cool people. I know a lot of them, and I'm proud to call them friends, and they also provide amazing content if you don't know. Do you like the podcast? Do you not like the podcast? Feel free to reach out to me directly at info@frescoharmony.com and let me know. Or maybe you want to be on the podcast. We are changing our format a little bit. I'm going to go to twice a month, every other week as opposed to every week, just in favor of having more time in my life, but still great content, and we'll keep delivering these podcast episodes to you because I think it's important, and you guys are listening, and I appreciate you for that. Stay tuned for more great episodes in the near future. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and remember, keep drywalling.